Secret law lets police arrest for failing to show ID near Summit. And they covered Charlie Veitch, a man arrested in downtown Toronto for failing to show police his ID. And that video's up on InfoWars and Prison Planet. We may pull that up. Head of Love Police. It's also on the Love Police website. Founder of Love Police arrested for not showing ID. But here it is in the news. Very polite, very nice to the police. And he just said, no, I don't feel like I need to talk to you. I'm here on a city street. And they said, okay, we're taking you to jail. Also, when Luke Rudowski tried to drive across at the beautiful Niagara Falls, man, that YouTube video he shot, you can see Niagara in the background. It's beautiful. And he and his other cohorts, they were not allowed to get in. Matt Lepasic and others had a foy line with her, of who I don't know. I've never met her. But they're all there. They're peacefully trying to go across. And once they get there, to the border, they say, you're with We Are Change. No, you're basically terrorist. You can't come in. And then Homeland Security interrogated them on the way back. And so that's now happening with these international databases. Let's go to Charlie Veitch, who's made international headlines by exposing the secret law. You, the slaves, can't know. I wonder what other secret laws there are. I mean, kind of like the directives where they take our blood in Canada, the U.S., England, and Europe proper without telling us, and now they admit they take our baby's blood for 38 years secretly. Or maybe how they have secret directives to kill us and take our organs when they want them that have now come out. Go ahead and of course, that's now admitted. That had been denied, that Israel and coalition forces and others were killing people and taking their organs. It's now admitted. But Mr. Veitch, maybe there's other secret laws we don't know about. Isn't that the bedrock of freedom to have secret laws?
Yeah, Alex, I've just come out of court about 2 hours ago where I was tried for the new law. I have it here in my official form. It's the Public Works Protection Act, Section 5.1, and it came into effect, so my lawyer said, the free lawyer appointed to me on June the 2nd this year, especially for the G20, and it also extends to private security officers. If you're in an area covered by the Public Works Act, private security can now have you arrested if you don't give your details over to them.
This is a global stratagem, just like we saw at the G20 in Pittsburgh.
No, absolutely. And I just want to say as well, I've been dealing with police in America, in Holland, in Germany, in the UK, and I've never felt such vicious, fascist, thuggish, scumbag behavior as the G20.
What have you heard me say for years? I mean, Canada, they got me for 15 hours and literally just growled and cussed and said, I hate you. I want to put you in a Toronto prison. If I find one thing to put you in prison, you're going. And they were all demonic and these little black armored things with gray shirts on, just giggling. And they've been caught in Canada hiring provocateurs to attack police so they can beat the hell out of Canadians. I mean, Canadians have an evil government and they need to wake up to it.
No, absolutely, Alex. The guy who arrested me had a little mustache on, a kind of marine haircut, big guy, Sergeant Reynolds, badge 3061. He took me in, he put the handcuffs on. He had me with the handcuffs behind my back for 5 hours.
Well, look at how their TSA kill people all the time. Just beat them to death. You can't speak English, and you're begging for help after 20-something hours in the terminal. They just beat you to death. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had the Special Anti-Terror Detective Unit from the G20 Protection Force were interviewing me twice this morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning, saying, look, you're not really a filmmaker, are you, Charlie? We know why you're really in Canada. We have no record of your entry into Canada. You are really here to cause trouble. You are a violent anarchist. And unless you start giving us names of your anarchist friends, you're never going to get out of this cell. You're going to be in the cell for 6 days until your flight back to London when we'll deport you.
So basically, make stuff up and admit you're a terrorist or we're going to put you in jail.
Yeah, and they were just saying, look, you're lying. Unless you admit you're a violent anarchist.
Well, they work for a narcotics trafficking, child slave trafficking government. Canada is involved in every evil known to man.
Yeah. And you know that gentleman you had on the Star, the Toronto Star, the Dave Vasey? I was actually in the cage next to him. It was like something out of Guantanamo Bay. At the Toronto Film Studios, they've created these gigantic American football stadium-sized battery cages.
No, this is all drills. I mean, Jesse Ventura, I'm consulting for him on his film about FEMA camps, and I keep explaining, it is the sports stadiums. They admit they can turn any town into a giant camp in hours, and all of this is a drill about private security goons grabbing you, putting a bag over your head. They've almost got the bill passed, and they'll just arrest whoever they want. I mean, the government is criminal in the U.S. and Canada and England. They want to put bags on our heads and take us away to be murdered on record. They are murdering criminals that work for banks that are robbing us. I'm sorry, go ahead. Folks, do you understand? It's real. It's real. Go ahead.
No, I have to back up Alex to all the listeners. It is very real. I felt the fascism going up my body. I got strip searched 4 times. And I was... Which
is a humiliation pleasure for the pervs. Just like they make you put your kids in a naked body scanner. It's about their religion of dominating us. We are entering hell. Go ahead.
Absolutely, Alex. They wouldn't even let me take the handcuffs off to urinate, to use the bathroom. And they were watching me. And I said, can I have a bit of privacy? They're like, no.
No. With Luke Radowski, they would strip them and then laugh at all of them at the G20. And they said it was military with cops just like going, you filth. And they would just pull their pants down. And not that anybody had anything to be ashamed of, but they would just, ha, 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 ha. Ah, we've got this country down. It's ours. Oh, God, we love Goldman Sachs. Rape them, Goldman. Rule. Oh, God. Let us destroy the American people. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I had this massive hanger, Alex. What really upset me the most was in Toronto they have the normal police, but they also have the court service police. And they were about 20 to 40 years old. And they were walking past my cage, rattling the bars, saying, ha ha, are you going to fight the man now? Are you having fun in your cage now, big boy? Who's the big protester now? They were really enjoying humiliating me. And every 3 or 4 hours...
They want the women, they want the farms, they want the ranches, they want it all, and they're going to get it. And their bosses are there injecting them with steroids and giving them speed pills. And, yeah, show that rabble scum you own them. And the cops are, it's like pirates. Let's get them, boys. Meanwhile, the Mexican troops shoot at them. They urinate on themselves and run. You know, I want an old lady to pull over and beat up. I'm sorry. Listen, Charlie Veitch, I talk about tyranny. The stress of it makes me... get a little nonsensical here, but recapping these mega cages, these Orwellian Guantanamo grids, describe this for us and run through what they did to you again.
Yeah, well, you enter in the back of a van through this big aircraft hangar entry point, and you get taken into this side big holding cage where they do the initial strip search. And then you go into this room where they've got these like porta-cabin things with like every single room has a brand new CCTV camera and a microphone. So, and then the officer says, I need to read you out this sign saying you are now under video and audio surveillance. And then I got then strip searched again, taken to my holding cage.
Excuse me, they strip search you in front of video?
No, that was in private, the strip searching.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I got taken...
Yeah, they only strip search you and record it at the airport. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's right. So then I got taken into the massive cage next to the other people, and that's when they walked past and kept up the humiliation for as long as possible. And it was extremely cold. They had extremely powerful air conditioning units there. I was wearing shorts and sandals. They refused to give me blankets. For 5 hours, they refused to give me water.
Yeah, that's the Israelis pioneered that modern Chinese model of deprivation with the cold. Please continue.
Yeah, and I actually got to the point when I started screaming at the top of my lungs, I'm a human being and you're keeping me in a cage. I need to be let out of here. And only then, when I really started rattling the bars... did I get given a pullover jumper thing. But then it was... in
the future, they'll just take you, shoot you in the head, and gut you and sell the organs and give the cops some money. I'm not kidding. That's
Alex, I really did feel that this was military police preparation for a future lockdown.
No, they want your organs. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just couldn't believe the facility I was taken into. It was like something out of the X-Files or something from a apocalyptic...
Describe it for us. Describe it for us.
It was probably about it was in the Toronto Film Studios. I don't know where about in town that is, but it's about the size of 2 American football pitches with a stadium. So immense size and just endless rows of strip lights and CCTV cameras above every single cage. And then the cages are like a full, the cage goes across the top and there's microphones pointing down into every cell. They have a little toilet in the corner with cameras pointing at that as well. And then there's people walking past humiliating you every 5 minutes, so you don't really get a chance to do anything.
Well, I mean, the message is don't protest, drink the fluoride water. I mean, it's like Humongous and Road Warrior. Just give us the gas, we spare your lives. That's all we want. Just walk away. Just walk away. I've come to hold on. The Humongous is here to be magnanimous.
we understand what you want, but you're not going to get away from here.
I mean, that's it. It's don't protest. Just let the banks rob everything. Just let us run everything, or we're going to SWAT team you. We're gonna put you in prisons. We're gonna hire provocateurs so we can attack you. As the Royal Mounted Police have been caught. I mean, this is the end. This is simultaneously every country they meet in. The G20 bankers use it as a model for the special security event, law enforcement, threat fusion center, grid takeover. This is a red alert. Continue.
Yeah, the absolute reason they chose Toronto to host the G20 in is because they know they can transport in big buses thousands of people to these holding cells, these cages on the outskirts of town, and process them and strip search them. And I almost reached breaking point, Alex. I almost snapped psychologically because it really is utterly nightmarish.
And then they'll have you on video, and then they get to come in and beat you with billy clubs and restrain you, and then, oh, he died. Oh, you know, these sadists get to, I work for the bankers. We're overturning all of the republics, all of the freedom. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Alex, I wish you were joking, but they seriously enjoyed the power over me.